This is San Diego land, and we're going to make a portable bead breaker that you can take on the road with you. We're going to start with a little soft piece of like 1.5 by 1.5 wood. It can be fairly soft because you'll see what we do with it. We don't really need it to be a hardwood. It's going to be easier to manipulate if it's soft. It's going to be lighter weight, and we don't want to do any damage to the rim or the tire. I'm just going to set mine up in one of these little cheap plastic miter boxes. And you can see the wood is smaller, so I can angle a little bit. I'm just going to get a slight angled cut off the end so that I have a little bit of a wedge coming down on the tire and I'm not hitting the whole thing with a flat piece. There we've got our angled in. It's only about 1.5 inches, so it really doesn't need to be shaped. It's going to hit the rim, a 17-inch rim or 19-inch rim, just fine, but we do want to sand off the edges so we don't get any chipping or damage to the tire as we come down. Now, I could break out the sander and everything for this job, but you know, I'm not only cheap, I'm too lazy to get that stuff out this morning, so I'm just going to use one of these little pads. You ever seen these? It's like a foam pad. You can use it as a block sander. It's going to be perfect because we're working with real soft wood. Smooth. I'm essentially done. You could experiment by rolling a little vinyl tape over the end if you really want to be, you know, anal about protecting the rim. And when I mean vinyl tape, I mean the kind of stuff you'd wrap around an ABS drainage pipe in your yard, something tough. So that's it. That is your bead breaker, and I'll show you why it's your bead breaker, and this is the only piece you need to carry on the bike. So you're heading to your friend's house who's hopefully got some kind of socket set, but you're going to need to carry anything special. In my case, I need a 12mm hex bit driver. Now this one's a 1/2 inch drive. If I really want to be prepared, I might even bring a 3/8 to 1/2 inch adapter so I can use any socket wrench. Now you can also bring a hex key. In my case, it's probably equally as heavy. Now just one other thing, I'm wearing gloves. I usually wear them at home so I can rip them off and answer the phone, but in the field I use them a lot so that I can do something with the chain or work on the bike, immediately pull them off, have clean hands to put into my riding gloves, which I'll probably be using for the next 2 weeks, and would appreciate them not smelling or feeling like grungy grease and oil. Now all you need to borrow from your friend is a 3-foot 2x4, the harder the wood the better, and a couple of 4x4s to set your rim down on. You've got the other piece you need. Okay, set this piece about even with the vehicle. Put the rim over this, and this back end's going to support it. Got a good rail to get leverage off of. Okay, and so this part you know already. Change the tire. It's the magical sound of air escaping. I mean, Windex, who knew? Broken, and not my finger. Now quick on the other side. Wedge. Sometimes it just takes a little bit of patience. Let it tire just kind of come down off it. Don't force it. And just, you know, if the thing slips, just make sure you're not in a position where you're going to get caught by it. Bead is broken on both sides.